Hey, all you podcast listeners, you can find Slice of the Paranormal everywhere podcasts are found, or you can watch us on our YouTube channel.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to the podcast. This is Slice of the Paranormal. I'm Ryan. It's my buddy Steve. This is Christy.
Hey.
This is the podcast. This is what we do. We talk about paranormal stuff. Talk about all kinds of stuff that interests us. Bigfoots, witches.
Yeah, I like witches a lot.
Witches,
werewolves,
cool.
ghosts, aliens.
full-bodied apparitions.
Well, yeah.
Full-bodied apparitions.
Who doesn't love a full-bodied apparition, really?
I'm all about full body.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I know quite a few people who would not be down to see a full-bodied apparition.
Yeah, I don't know.
They'd run the other way.
Some people, that's the Holy Grail, though, right?
For ghost hunters, that's the holy grail. Most people, when you're getting into ghost hunting, one of the people are like, oh my God, I got an orb. And to me, an orb is, well, like it's a bug, that's a
Dust.
That could be anything.
It could be anything. It
Literally could be anything.
It could even be moisture in the air. So it's very
We get
easy
orbs in
to
all kinds of pictures.
You do. Like, people go down to Gettysburg and they're at Sox Bridge over a waterway and they're like, oh, I got orbs. It's
Right.
Like,
oh,
no,
great.
you got gnats.
You got gnats.
And I'm not discounting orbs. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm not putting a lot of faith in it either.
I am. I'm totally
You're
discounting
discounting
Like,
it.
you don't think any orbs are valid?
Well, no, it's not that I don't think that they're valid. There might be an orb
Orb
that's
lives
valid.
matter, man.
If it's casting light on the surrounding objects and you're not using a flash, then maybe an orb is valid.
Okay.
But I think the problem is that your common orbs, you cannot prove to another person that it's not paranormal, like that it wasn't dust, that it wasn't a gnat.
That's why
So that
certain
means-
shows might use that, like, just then.
So
an
when-
orb can seed floating into my shoulder.
Yeah, when I see
And I
people
felt angry.
pushing orbs, it's not really evidence of anything because there's too many natural things it could have been. But like the site that we're going to talk about today is a place in Shamokin in Northumberland County, Pennsylvania.
Good old Shamokin.
Always
Coal region.
I
coal
love
region
Shamokin.
area, and it's a town. It's a business called Studio 207. Now, Studio 207, way back when I first started ghost hunting back in like 2009, we did an investigation of the site, and one of the team leaders captured a full-bodied apparition shot.
You were with a different team at that point.
I
right?
was with CPPRA, which is Central Pennsylvania Paranormal Research Association with Kevin Savage. And
For sure.
my team leader is a girl named Karen Baruziowicz.
Okay.
And she's the one that captured this image that we're going to show. Now,
You said this was how long ago? I'm sorry.
2009, she captured this.
So 15 years ago.
So, yeah, quite a bit. But she was using what's called a Sony night shot camera.
Okay.
So that puts out infrared lights into a darkened room. So that's where you get that green circle halo kind of look in the image. And it captures in the infrared spectrum. So if you can show the image of the full-bodied shot, what people are going to see is the fact that she's solitary in this room, and the doorway is off to the right-hand part of the film of the image, and you can see clearly what looks like a guy leaving the room.
It's like
Very broad shoulders. You can see the two separate legs.
I got to say, that's a very impressive shot,
yeah, you
I
can
think.
see the head right here.
Yeah.
So those of you on the podcast, you can go to our YouTube and watch this and look at it. Or, I mean, it literally is just.
It looks like a
shadowy
dude
thing
walking right out the door.
That is the outline of a dude. You don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was gotten in
So
2009.
let's pull this back. What were you doing in there? Why'd you get this picture?
Okay, what had happened is they had reached out to our ghost hunting team, and essentially they were getting activity. Like, people were getting their hair pulled. They would feel a tug on their shirt, like
As it was a hairdressing studio, right?
Yeah, it's a hairdressing studio. So these people are just, there's a business there.
Yeah.
Upstairs, there's a massage room. They do all sorts of different things, and it's a great little shop. So we came out to investigate because people were feeling like tugs on their shirts as if a little kid was trying to get your attention. And when we went there, that's one of the things we got was a full-bodied apparition shot. You know, the holy grail of ghost hunting, getting that shot. So
I have a picture of your team here and the.
Oh yeah, we have
Up in there.
the picture of. Are you showing Rich and Bob Christopher and Angel Rosal? Well, that image is from because of that full-bodied apparition shot. Ghost Detectives TV show. Joined up with CRPT, which was the team we had become. We formed up, and we did an investigation for TV based on the site and based on that video or that photograph being caught.
And I watched that video last night on YouTube. It was really cool.
Yeah,
You're not in it a whole lot.
I'm not in that episode a lot.
Younger and a little different. Not a lot younger. Your hair's not as long.
My daughter was
Shots fired.
My daughter was only like 2,
would look a lot
and now
younger.
she's like graduating high school.
2009 too.
All right.
So
Now he's aging himself. So let it.
Yeah, no. You know what it is? It's lack of facial hair, and your hair's not long. You look like a baby.
I did have short hair.
Walk it back.
My wife back then wouldn't let me grow my hair long. She didn't like long hair.
Yeah.
So after, once I got with my wife now, she doesn't care.
Ex-wife wouldn't let you.
My ex-wife wouldn't let me. So, but I am going to show one of her ghost photos in a future episode at some point.
That's right. I know that
because I have a photo that she took, and she's like, "I'm claiming copyrights on it." It's like, I'm giving you credit. I'm not saying I took it.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of guy. But anyway, they did the film. They filmed at the site, and I wasn't in that episode. I'm in a couple of other Ghost Detective episodes. But the stylists that are there are Christy and Danielle, and they experienced a variety of things.
At the time or now?
At the time. Okay. Her husband, Christy's husband, Mike, was having his tools just move while they're working on the building. The woman was seen in an upstairs window.
Oh, yeah.
Looking out. People have felt, I said taps and pulls, but a woman was said to have fallen down the stairs and died at the site. So, a traumatic death. That could.
I don't remember that from the episode last night.
Well, these are things that, I hold back.
So a ghost pushed a lady down the stairs?
Just that she fell down the stairs.
She fell.
Maybe she's a ghost.
She might be the ghost.
But we, when CPPRA investigated, we had a psychic there with us to go through it, and she felt that there were several entities in the house. In fact, they were all kind of related. A guy named William Hardy is a short man dressed in black and white with brown hair and a hat, and he doesn't like people, and he's found in an upstairs closet.
Sounds about right.
That's
a ghost you want right there.
He's
a ghost that doesn't like people.
Now, if you live in Shamokin, supposedly he lived on Duart Street and died in 1911.
Oh, so it's a real person.
Yeah. And then his brother, Edward Hardy.
Ed Hardy? Seriously?
I know. It sounds horrible. It sounds like a lie. But he died in June 13th, 1913. And his spirit doesn't know that he died. So he supposedly is attached to the massage room.
Ew.
Yeah, not the room you want to be attached to.
Hey, but we should love this guy.
Or maybe it is the room you want to be attached to.
We should love this guy. He likes the smell of pizza, and he seems to be around when pizza is smelled, whenever they have pizza in the store.
How did they figure that out?
Cool. Well, I mean, when we did our investigation, they actually set up a whole spread of stuff for us. They had like pizzas and dogies and drinks. So
at the time, they welcomed you, huh?
At the time, they welcomed us. Very so they obviously wanted him to come out that night. That's why they probably
were trying to get some answers too. Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted answers, and that's what most people contact us for. They just want to know that they're not insane, and that what they're experiencing could be maybe detected by someone else.
Right.
So
validation.
Yeah. It's better to find out that it's not in your head and that it's something that's happening around you. And a lot of times, if it's just regular people, It's nothing to be afraid of. None of that is. Now, some of the other people, there's Mary Schultz. She's the one that's supposedly seen in the window by a chair on the first floor.
Why would she be there?
I don't know. I don't know if she's the one that fell down the steps or not. I haven't been able to research.
Was she
these
a real
people.
person?
I don't know. Maybe one of our viewers can answer that for us.
Everybody knows Mary Schultz? Shout out.
I mean, it's Pennsylvania. There's probably a ton of Schultzes. And
True, and it's
Mary's
not
a
like Mary.
really
Yeah,
popular
Quite a
name.
few Mary Schultzes.
Yeah,
gonna
probably.
be
We can
like-
narrow it down.
16,000 Mary Schultz is contacting us.
And then there's some small children, which would explain the tugs on the shirts.
Yeah,
So-
that stuff always creeps me out. The little tugs and stuff.
I have to admit, ghost kids
Or hair pulling, you
are
think?
kind. I don't know if they'd be the ones pulling hair. I think that'd be
can't
William
reach.
Hardy. He's
That'd
the
be-
one that doesn't like people. But the kids, I think they're trying to get your attention. You know, they're pulling on your clothing garments.
That's interesting. So I have a picture up here of this place, and it's not a good picture. It's like a artistic rendition. I found it on Google. I mean, that's the only way I found it, because when I went to Google Maps in Shamokin, you can't go down that street. It's like
It's Liberty Street,
Liberty. Thank you.
and it's like a little alley.
Liberty Bibbity.
Yeah, it's.
But it won't. Google Maps won't take you down there,
No.
which is really strange to me. I kept putting my little guy on it, and it's like, nope. I kept putting my little guy on it, nope. And then I put it one street over. It's like, yeah, you can go there.
Yeah.
Why would that be?
I don't know.
Well, it's just because the cars that go around doing Google Maps don't go down every
haven't
road.
gone down
Every
that.
street, yeah.
So, like, if they don't go down that street, they have no images.
You know, I passed 2 of those Google Map cars on some like random back road during COVID-19 when I would just go drive around.
Like big cameras on top and
on
stuff?
these like hugely hickly back roads, and I see 2 of them. And you're telling me not
Checking
one
everything.
can go down this one little road
As a
in
podcast,
Shamokin?
there are people
That's
that
crazy.
find out where these cars are going, and they
Really?
can plan ahead.
Yeah, and
so
they set things up.
they set up like crime scenes. I think as a
That's pretty funny.
podcast, we really should figure this out how they do that.
That's
because
true.
it'd be pretty cool if we were filmed as they were passing haunted sites.
That's an
you
awesome
know, with
idea.
Good idea.
maybe you guys kicking me on the ground.
Yeah.
And, me crying or something.
I like that idea.
Why do you go to that right away? Like,
Maybe you guys
us beating you up.
Yeah,
No, I think
maybe you
it's-
guys just beating
me
on
up.
me. And
I think it sounds
spitting
better
on me
than
a
me
bunch,
like
calling me
say-
Are you
names.
trying to tell us something, Steve?
I don't want to suggest it and say, and we're beating up Brian. It would make it
That's
seem
so
like
sweet.
I'm trying to hurt him or hurt you.
Right.
Gotcha.
If I'm the
Put it on
victim,
yourself.
you know,
That's very
I'm not a
nice of
masochist. I'm not, looking for that. But while I took you guys there to Studio 207.
Yeah, so we are sitting outside. We're sitting outside Studio 207,
like
and you're
creepers.
like, here it is. And there's definitely business going on.
Yeah, like
And whatnot.
people-
And
we're
we're
just in
like
our car,
sitting
like,
there, just peeping out the window.
There's a girl kind of talking to a friend and whatnot, and then she goes back in, and I'm like, I'm going in and talk to her. So I just kind of approached her. Even more of a
You got
creeper
out
thing to
before
do.
I even
We
parked
double
the
creeped
car.
it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm
And I
getting
was
out.
like, I'm
you
getting
hopped
out.
out. I found a parking space.
I'm gonna ask her some questions.
And we went in.
As soon as I said anything about ghosts, they were like, "Oh yeah, let's talk."
They
Yeah.
were
Lots
so
of
nice.
stories.
Were they not the sweetest
They were
people?
very,
They
very
are.
nice.
They are very nice.
Literally invited us in. She's like, "I can't talk out here, but come on in, and I'll talk to you."
Yep.
Yeah, super sweet people. They had tons of stories to share, and very similar stories to what you were saying. A lot of it was focused upstairs. Was the one girl was saying. A lot of it was like, pushing, pulling, hair pulling, that kind of stuff. Electronic stuff upstairs was a big issue for her, and everybody said something about that stairs definitely felt weird in general.
Yeah, the one that the woman supposedly said to have died down. So, I mean, I think it's a great establishment. I think if I don't get my haircut, obviously, but for those of you that get your haircut, I think you should go there.
Yeah.
And
It'd be a really neat
'cause
experience.
it's
Yeah, they were very nice. Yeah,
extremely
even the
nice.
customers were sharing
And
stories.
Anytime I talk to anybody about that site, they're always like, "Oh my God, Christy and Danielle are so sweet. They're so nice." I've never heard a negative comment, but when we were talking to them, it became very apparent that they do not want any more ghost hunting done at the site.
They're done.
They're done. So don't go there to try to badger them into ghost hunting the site. They got the answers that they were looking for, and I think the activity.
I'm sorry.
The activity ramps up,
Right.
like when they have ghost hunts, which a lot of sites say that.
They're blaming, well, not blaming. I'm sorry, I don't want to say it like that. They are saying that, it's because of that. It was like
It kind of ramps things up.
Yeah.
And they don't want
Charge
it
the
ramped up.
spirits up.
They found a way to comfortably live with whatever phenomenon's going on in Shamokin, which I'm sure there's a lot of phenomenon going on in Shamokin, just saying.
and us in particular, it's not our goal to ever upset anything.
Oh, no.
Or make the situation worse for anybody. So we're just trying to get
yeah.
information. We're not trying to
Exactly. So, I mean,
make situations.
But
We're
even
trying
though
to-
they didn't want us like to investigate, which we weren't even asking to do,
No, we weren't.
just more than willing to be friendly and talk, which is awesome.
Exactly.
So again, if you want like a haircut or whatever, it's a good place.
Or a massage. I think I'm not sure. I think they might still do massages. I highly recommend people go to Studio 207
Yeah.
because you are going to be thrilled with the experience you
Right.
get there.
Should we talk about our pizza place now, since they were the
Well,
ones
we
that
have-
Why don't we
recommended
kind
it? Or
of
should we-
merge it?
Do you want to?
because we
we
asked
have
them.
the other site that we visited.
Let's talk about that first.
We could walk to go to the other site.
I like it.
And we can delve into the pizza there because that's where
What we
ate.
did.
Yeah, what
We
we
ate
did
the
is
pizza there.
we asked them if they could
Studio
recommend
207, yeah.
right,
What's
if
your
they could
favorite pizza?
recommend a pizza shop to stop at.
We did.
And they recommended
Unanimously. Yeah, I was like,
you need to go get this pizza.
They're
So
like,
we
"You need to
did.
go
We
get
went to that establishment, got
So
their
we could-
pizza,
So we can
and took
Luna's
it with
Pizza?
us to visit the next.
But go
site.
ahead.
Okay, so we grab the pizza, and then we go to what is called the Witch's Grave.
So not far. It's all within,
It's all within Shamokin. It's
Yeah.
in the Shamokin Cemetery.
which is not a huge town. So
and
it didn't take us long to get there.
to get to the Shamokin grave is the roads are very tight and odd. But there's a grave there that has what looks like a pointy witch's hat. And on the witch's hat, it looks like a broomstick is on it.
It does look like a broomstick.
So I think it's just the look of the tombstone.
Well, it's like an upside down torch type thing.
yeah, it's an upside down
It does
torch.
look like a broomstick, though. No lie.
So this got the lore of being the witch's grave of Shamokin. It's the folklore of the town. So it's actually members of the Van Gaskin family that are buried beneath this unique marker. And the thing that resembles a broomstick is actually, like you said, it's an upside down torch. And the upside down torch symbolizes life in the next realm or a life extinguished. So by turning it upside down, that means the life is extinguished. A lit torch
Oh, I gotcha.
would represent life,
That makes sense.
immortality, and everlasting life. An inverted torch represents death or the passing of a soul into the next life. So by the torch being still lit, to me, it's saying eternal life after death.
Life after death. Yeah.
So
Eternal life after death.
And I'm sorry. What year was that grave
okay,
put in
well,
there?
getting back to the Van Gaskin family, the other reason this Mary Fearer Van Gaskin might be considered a witch is because her name is Fearer.
Fear.
Fearer.
Like mine, Fear.
Yes, not Fearer. Fearer. Mary Fearer.
Fearer.
Gaskin. Okay.
Oh. I
And
remember seeing that on there. Was that written on there?
it was. And she was born in 1815 and she dies in 1862 during the Civil War at the age of 47. Okay. Now, she had a 16-year-old son with Captain Henry, and he passed away from a fatal illness after exposing himself to the cool night air after being overheated. So, supposedly,
I'm too hot.
and that guy's name was Harry. So she also had
Of
this.
course, it was Harry.
Also at the site is Henry Van Gaskin, which is the former captain.
So there's multiple people buried at this witch's
Yeah, I think
hat.
there's 4. people, but only
One on
two
each
of
side
the
kind of thing, like out each way.
Yeah, I think so. But there's only 2 of the 4 sides have writing
Names
on them.
on them or words, yeah.
So Henry dies in 1874. He outlives his wife. He dies at the age of 62, and their son Wesley Van Gaskin dies at the ripe old age of 75 in 1913. So, and the son that died, he was Harry Clay, who was a student of Williamsport and Dickinson Seminary.
So why do we care about this thing?
So we care about this thing because there's just the lore that it's
Because it looks like a witch's hat?
like a witch's hat. But my best friend is a woman named Carrie Hargesheimer, and she, when she was a teenager, took her picture at the witch's grave because she had family in Shamokin.
Okay.
So like kids would go up there and they'd hear all this lore about this being a witch's grave.
Okay.
She had her picture taken, and I wish I could find the picture. It shows her in solid black underneath the witch's hat, and her face is not her face in that image. So, for whatever reason, there is weird phenomenon that has happened at this grave.
Ew.
So,
And that would have been like before digital.
this would have been
photography.
1993.
So yeah,
Snapper
yeah.
one.
This is snapping photos, and you don't know what you
Disposable
get till
cameras.
you get it developed. So this is way before digital.
Oh, remember the old... Oh, I don't want to talk about
The old school days. I mean, we didn't have cell phones back then to take
Right,
pictures.
right.
I mean, cell phones, if you remember when I was a kid, it was like the brick, that you're talking into. So it's not what it is today. So part of the reason I want to bring up the witch's grave is because obviously we talk about witches, but there is some weird lore with this grave site. It does look weird. There's no other grave in that graveyard that's even remotely similar.
I mean, we've been to a bunch of graveyards so far. Mm-hmm. It's weird on a lot of different levels. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different on many levels.
Yeah.
There's wood involved. It's like it's a whole different thing.
The color of it, obviously,
and what was
stands out.
the witch's hat part was like cast iron.
It's weird.
So
4 sides. Yeah, it's definitely strange.
So I do kind of want to dispel. I personally do not think Mary Van Gaskin is a witch. I think the story of her being a witch, which happens a lot, is attributed to a lady after her death for other reasons.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
She was a witch.
Yeah, so like I haven't heard anything that would say that this woman does anything like powwowing or spellcasting or selling herbs.
She didn't do none of that.
She didn't do none of that.
Not in the basic witch stuff.
Exactly. She just has a freaking headstone that looks like a witch's hat with
Poor
a broomstick
lady.
on it. So, I mean, just bad choice. And
Now we put your
poor
cat out there,
planning.
right?
yeah, we did. We put. I have a cat that was built by Bob Christopher.
Stuffed cat, yeah.
Yeah, not a real cat.
Oh yeah, not a real
not
cat.
Not a
It's stuffed
taxidermy cat.
No.
It's
I know we
completely
can think
fake.
that with Steve, but it's not.
But it was built by Bob Christopher of Vortex Ghost Gear, and
out of
it's a
spare cat parts, right?
out of a stuffed animal. And essentially, if you pet the cat,
It's about yay big. Yeah, it's black, and if you pet it,
Named Binx.
yeah, I named it Binx.
it goes.
Shout out
weird,
Hocus
like-
Pocus.
Yeah, it'll have lights light up. And I take it on ghost hunts because if something like a kid is there, I'm thinking
kid ghost.
a kid ghost, that maybe they'd want to pet the cat. It's much more natural for them to pet a stuffed animal than it is for them to go to an object that is 150 years after they're
meter,
dead.
yeah.
You know what?
like-
I just thought an angry ghost might want to kick that cat.
What if it gets
You know what I
Maybe.
mean?
I would be okay with that.
Like, yeah.
It's pretty soft. I think you can handle it. Bob makes really good equipment and Vortex Ghost Gear.
But no one touched the cat.
No one touched the cat. In fact, that cat has never gone off by itself.
Ever?
Ever. So when it does,
Ever?
Kitty cat.
which is, to me, it's a good
Hang in
thing.
there, kitty cat.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
a good
get
thing,
ya.
though. You don't want something going off all the time. 'Cause
Right.
then you'd think, well,
When it goes off, you're gonna crap your pants.
yeah, I'm going to be very impressed.
Yeah.
Because it takes a hand or something to set it off. It's
Mm-hmm.
not going to set off by a walkie-talkie. It's not going to set off by your cell phone. So it literally needs something to interact with it. So I really do like that piece of equipment.
Yeah, and we've taken it with us a few places, and you're right. It hasn't done anything
Hasn't
yet.
done anything, but, we'll keep trying.
Like you said, that's good.
Yeah, and I besides, I like taking Binx with me anywhere I go anyway, so he's like the coolest.
He's your comfort animal.
He is, and there's a lot of companies that make really interesting ghost hunting equipment to help spirits kind of interact with people. One of the ones I like that are really popular right now is they have these lanterns from the 1800s that are ghost detectors. Because they think if you're from the 1800s,
it's more familiar.
It's more familiar. Like, you wouldn't go to an Edison light bulb if you died in 1810. You wouldn't even know what the hell a light bulb was.
What is this?
Exactly. You'd have no clue. But a lantern is something that has been used for a very long time. So you're trying to provide them with tools to interact with the living, and having something more familiar to
What if
them.
it's like a caveman ghost?
Oh,
and all he can say is like, ooga booga. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe I have a haunted trigger object. With an HTO made by Vortex Ghost Care, which you can clip to a metal piece. So if it's in the Stone Age, I don't think it would work.
there's nothing.
There's
nothing.
You could take the HTO and you could put a piece of meat on a metal plate and connect the HTO to it. And if anything tried to touch the meat, maybe you could get a caveman to interact with it.
I think that
I was
might be
wondering
my
where you're
new
going
goal.
with the meat. Okay.
Caveman ghost might be
Caveman.
my new goal. Just so heads up.
Oh, you'd be the first.
That's
If you
Caveman
get a
ghost.
full-bodied apparition shot and the guy is wearing like a tiger loincloth,
that's what I'm talking about.
and carrying a giant club.
I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I'm getting an image of like Captain Caveman.
Yeah, we'll have to go
I
to like
can
the
do.
Mammoth Caves in Kentucky or something for that.
I'll have to redo the logo in a
We
caveman.
don't really have many cavemen in the U.S., though. I mean, if you think about it. Like
True.
The Native
There's
Americans.
mastodons, or not mastodons. Yeah, mastodons.
Yeah,
Just
we
the
had
woolly
mastodons and woolly
mammoth. It's
mammoths.
gotta be cavemen.
Saber-toothed tiger,
People died all
cats.
over the place.
So, you might have to go out west.
Sorry, I went off.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Hey, while we're off, so I had this thing the other day. I saw on a podcast that have you heard, and this is not quite paranormal, but a little bit adjacent. You're familiar with zodiac signs. There's 12 of them.
Oh, yeah, yes.
12.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people say there's 13. You heard this?
There is 13.
Have you, you're
Because I believe we started talking about this the other night,
Did
and I
we?
got really upset.
oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So maybe we did. It's blowing my mind. That's why. So I've been a Libra. I'm a Libra. I've always been a Libra. I'm always like, man, do I represent Libra?
And he does. Like, I've
and
always
everybody
thought.
always says,
Yeah, you're such a
you're like
Libra.
scales, you
Always
weigh
plays
things, you're
devil's advocate. Yeah.
And then I saw this 13-month thing, and I'm like, I wonder what I would fall into, and I wonder like what it would say. I looked it up. I'd be a Virgo, and I looked up Virgo's top traits, and like seriously, the top 4 traits were dead on my personality, dead on. And I'm like,
Did it
maybe there's some
shock
merit to
your
this.
world?
It did. It really threw me for a loop because you know what I mean? When you think you're something, and do I really think I'm a Libra, or was it just like I've been told so much by the horoscope industry, big horoscope,
Right. You
know.
that I'm a
Like,
Libra.
almost like a self-fulfilling
The Earth-
prophecy.
Exactly.
When
Exactly.
the
Are you
astrological
making it happen?
signs were set up, the problem was the Earth is on its axis actually wobbles.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, now that wobble means that like we are, whatever your astrological sign is actually not what you really are because of that wobble. We are now under different signs. So, and astrology has not, accounted for that. So it's really weird. I'm an Aries, but am I?
That's what I'm saying. Not anymore.
I'm not really. I mean, you'll have to have your birth natal chart done by.
Do you know what that 13th one was? I forget what it was called.
Oh, I forget the
I should
name,
look
but
it
you'll have to look it
Turtle.
up.
Turtle?
No, I don't know.
She's just
It might
throwing
be a
out.
turtle.
Silkworm.
What?
She's messing with you, man. The next one is Wendigo.
Oh, that would be badass.
Ophiuchus. It's a lot of PH and CH. Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus.
For you trying to figure that out, it sounds like you're stroking out over there. Just saying.
I'm not stroking out, I promise. It's Ophiuchus. I'm going. That's my final answer. Who is Ophiuchus?
Ophiuchus.
I'm assuming like a Greek god, goddess.
I don't know. I'm done. Let's move on.
All right, so we're at the witch's grave.
Yep.
Okay, and we brought our pizza.
We did from Luna's Pizza in downtown Shamokin, Pennsylvania.
Shamokin.
Sorry, the locals.
Which again, the locals
Shamokin.
loved that pizza place.
Yeah,
They loved it.
Really popular.
Yeah.
That's what they suggested.
This was one of the first places we investigated, correct?
Correct.
The first, I think.
I think it was the first time we went out as a group.
So
Yeah.
we're like, let's rock and roll. Pizza place was Luna's. Downtown Shamokin, each of us got a large slice, like 8 inches. So they didn't have a full pie. We just got slices.
Mm-hmm.
They were huge.
Huge. Like way bigger than our heads.
Like, yeah, like
Slices.
They
New
were
York,
massive.
New York
Yeah.
pizza style slice, like huge.
And what I remember, we did say that the price for the size of the pizza was pretty amazing.
I think I might have put
It was very
it
affordable.
was.
If you were really hungry and could only afford one slice of pizza, that's where you want to go.
Yeah. Christy, 2 out of 5 slices.
However,
Liked that it was thin.
yeah.
You would ghost, but I like their logo and little pizza shop. I would ghost, but I like their logo and pizza shop. So you're not a fan. 2 out of 5, obviously not a
No.
high score. You
Yeah.
would ghost. You like their logo, and their pizza shop, but not so much.
They
the
were
pizza.
super nice. I mean, and the ambiance in the room was really cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
Very friendly. We liked their logo. Like I said, if you were really hungry and you really liked pizza, that's a good place to go. I did not give it a very high rating. What is that, 2.5 out of 5? So
No, two out of 5.
2 out of 5. Yeah, so that's probably one of my lowest ratings.
That's a lower
However,
one for you.
it could be, maybe it was just
been
the
a bad
day
day.
we got a slice. that
Steve
was
gave it a
not so
3 out of
great.
5. He gave it a little bit better.
Yeah,
3 out of 5.
better. I'd eat it.
He said it was a little bit greasy, but cost to size was great. The place was nice inside and looked like they had to put a lot of effort into their logo.
Their logo looked very professional.
don't
Almost
remember
as
the logo.
professional as some logos I've seen.
I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
Thank you. I gave it 3.7 out of 5. So a little higher. Actually, mine was decent score.
That's a pretty big range.
I enjoyed the crust. Pizza had a nice taste, and the pizzeria had decent vibes. I said, so 3.75. That's much higher. I don't know. Different. We all have different.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
different
Is we all have
tastes.
different tastes. We definitely like different stuff.
Yeah, I do like that when we go to a place, we don't always agree.
Yeah.
On the pizza. Like one of us could be like, I really loved it.
Well, and also if it's big slices, chances are it was reheated for us. So and when it's reheated, that's almost like cheating on in my scales because it crisps up everything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if it's reheated, my scale's going to be a little bit skewed higher.
We typically like to get a large pizza made right then and there.
Right then and there.
I think we learned that like
half
pretty
cheese,
quickly.
half pepperoni. Yeah.
That day.
We might have been like, we need to stop.
We
doing
need to
this.
be.
It seems it gives everyone the same level playing field,
Right.
but that was, since it was the first one, we didn't really think of that at the time. So maybe
Correct.
at some point we'll have to go back to Luna's and give them a
another
second
shot.
try.
That's a good idea.
You know, because I mean,
I'm down.
everything else was really cool there. So maybe just having a fresh pizza would be
Yeah.
the ticket.
Half cheese, half pep.
But yeah, that's it there. That was our trip to Shamokin. Like I said, it might be our very first trip out. That was a couple months ago, but
Yeah, it was hot out.
that's how long ago it was. It was
Yeah,
hot
it was
at that time.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
well.
the pizza was so hot, that's why we took it with us to eat. in the
Yeah, I had to get a
graveyard.
half gallon
Which,
of.
Is that weird to eat pizza in a graveyard?
I had to get what?
We do
I
it
don't
a
know.
lot, so I hope it's not weird.
Is that weird?
I don't think it's weird, but I used to eat pizza while watching Faces
Let us
of
know
Death.
if you guys out
Do you
there think it's weird. Let us know.
Yeah, Steve. Obviously, Steve can
do you
always
say?
win.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. He's always got us. He's always going to one up us.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well.
You're good.
I'm good.
Hey, like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. Comment on our stuff. Do what you know how to do. Please help us out. We enjoy doing this, and if you guys enjoy what we're doing, let us know.
Yeah. And join us next time you crave a slice of the paranormal.
This podcast was produced by Stone State Entertainment.